Hey guys, this is Kane 1 for 1 with XBLA fans. I just wanted to go over some quick Smite information. We might be doing this as like a MOBA 101 type thing, and I'm just gonna give you guys some really quick information on Arena mode, since I have a feeling that's gonna be pretty popular, and that's one that a lot of our viewers have already been asking me about. Uh, for those of you who played Smite on the PC or played other MOBAs, Conquest is the main mode. That is the one that like you think of. It's the standard 3-lane mode. But arena mode is this cool mode in Smite. Go to it real quick here, where it's just like a giant like circle more or less, and you've got a couple jungle camps on the sides, and you got 2 lanes of minions that run at each other. So that's the general gist of it. Okay, so like the big thing is making sure those minions are not going into your portal and that you're getting your minions into the other team's portal. You also get points for kills and whatever else. So just gonna go over the basics really quick. Um, pull this up just so I don't screw up the numbers here. Gonna get the Smite scoring numbers up. All right, so yeah, again, Arena, it's 5v5. You start at level 3 with 1,500 gold, and there's anytime you kill an enemy, it deducts 5 points. Anytime you last hit an enemy minion, it deducts 1 point. So last hitting does have a purpose. If you get a friendly minion to the enemy portal, it deducts 1 point. And escorting the siege tower is 15 points. That's worth 3 gods, 3 god kills. That's huge. So it's something you always need to remember. Now, anytime a team gets down to 10 points, that the minions no longer count for deducting points. Escorting minions, though, does, and killing the siege tower does as well. So you also want to just kill gods and whatnot. So we're just going to go over this. All right. Yeah, I was going to say, there should not be a queue for me to do practice. All right. So just to go over how this part of the game works. You're going to pick your god, but something you need to consider is what else is being picked for your team. Like, do you have all magic damage? Do you have all physical damage? Do you have all hunters? Like, you don't want a team of all hunters. You don't want a team of all mages. If you do that, you're likely to get wrecked. So, like, you got to consider, okay, maybe it might be worth having an assassin, but you don't need 3 assassins. You might want a guardian, a tank. If someone locks something like Ares, who's got that great AoE ult with the pull, that's going to pull in all those chains and bring everyone in, maybe you want to bring out someone like Cupid or Poseidon. It's throwing me off because all the gods are unlocked because it's the weekend. So, like, here's Cupid. He's got a great ult that synergizes with Ares. It's something to consider. So you also need to just think about what you're playing against. Like if you're playing against like an Ares or a Hades, you need to be buying your beads quicker. So those are just things that you need to remember when you go into this mode. I'm going to select Arachne just because this is easy to run with. So skins, those don't matter. You do what you feel like. If I remember right, yeah, I was going to say they're going to give me a Sobek. I don't know if it always gives you the same team setup or what, but last time I tried to do this, it's the same thing I got. So I'm just going to show you guys kind of where you want to go at the beginning of the game, if that makes sense. So, like, again, the big keys are making sure you have some kind of minion control in the middle. You don't want to let the enemy team get pushed into yours, but at the same time, and while you're, like, chasing them around fighting, just letting free points happen, that's bad. That's something you got to avoid. All right, so again, you get to start with 3 skills. So, like, when you're not using the auto skill level up, you got to think it through of what you're going to get. Since I'm just playing against bots, I don't really care what I buy. This isn't exactly a build guide, by the way, so it's just like, I'm just buying. So I wouldn't necessarily copy that. But again, typically what you do is you're going to rush your entire team over to this left side, and you're going to try to protect. The other team's going to do the exact same. It's mirrored. So it's mirrored starts. Since this is bots, they're all going to run up in the middle like idiots. This is what happens with a lot of people who don't know what they're doing. It's kind of funny to watch. So, I mean, you can normally tell pretty quickly if someone's played the game before with where they're going to position. So, like, kill these quicker. Yeah, I need to just kill the little guys. So okay. Yeah, see, sometimes a guy will come up and contest you on these. Now, I mean, normally I'd give this to Anubis, but since Anubis isn't here, I'm just going to grab it. But what's going to happen is you're going to have your entire team up here. You're going to take those camps a lot quicker than I just did. And you're going to give the first camp to your mage. Second camp is damage. It'll probably go to like your assassin or something like that. And your hunter's probably going to end up taking the last camp because that's attack speed. It's really good for him. So after that happens, just start unleashing on people. Like, these guys are stupid because they're bots. So it's like, I don't really have to do anything. They're just going to die. But this is what a lot of people on Xbox feel like right now because they don't really know what they're doing. So the big thing is, like, why is he up here? Like, don't be that guy who's up in the enemy's face with no health who's causing your team to lose. The thing about MOBAs is you got to remember that every time you die, you're giving the enemy team gold and points. Really, really bad. You don't want to be the person who causes your team to feed. Like, it's okay to have a bad game. People shouldn't rage at you over that, hopefully. But you don't want to become fourth meal at Taco Bell. That's their job. Alright, so... like, I'm a little deep right now, considering what I'm doing. Just gonna run up behind Neath. I probably could have killed him, actually, but... watch. Nice and simple. Probably still can get this guy. That's the funny part. Oh, man. No, I can't. That was a little greedy. Alright, so what I just did is probably a bad idea if this is a real game. But like I said, it's bots, so, like, they're really stupid. I'm just using this to kind of show you guys. Like, if you notice, I'm really, really fed now. And if you had done this to an enemy player, if you let them get kills like this, they're going to wreck your face, and they're going to wreck your teammates' face. And the thing about MOBAs is, like, if you let your team get behind because you keep dying, they're just going to get ragey at you, and no one's going to have a good time. You don't want to be the reason you're losing. Okay, so, like, if you notice, I got 8 kills, technically, or we have 9 kills as a team. I have KDA of 8. But we're winning on points, but we're not winning on that much yet, because we haven't really gotten the minion wave pushed in. So I'm just going to show you guys that really quickly before I just exit out. Try to get this going a little bit. So, I mean, before you go into this, you really got to figure out how to play your champion a little bit first. That's a really big key point. So, like, since I'm using Arachne, that's a champ that I've played a few times. I know how her abilities work. And I can sit up here safely and just do things, and I'm not going to be confused. Like, yes, this is a great mode to, like, learn how to play. But at the same time, it's always good if you can come in somewhat having an understanding and not having to keep looking at your abilities in the middle of the game. Like, figuring out what they do. So, always another key thing to remember. Alright, so that right there is the siege tower. When we just let that go in, that's 15 points. It's huge. Absolutely huge. It's the equivalent of 3 god kills. Like, I can't beat that in enough. Again, I just accidentally clicked my beads. But, like, things you need to remember when you're playing this mode as well is, like, what are active items? So, like, the way the store's worked out is it breaks it out to where it's going to give you a recommended page. You've got your core items as well, which are the ones that it recommends you need no matter what, basically. I don't know if some of these are always right, but we've also got, you know, their damage recommended items, the defense. These are the recommended actives for almost everyone. That should be beads. In this mode, you don't really need that as much, but another couple actives that are really good. If you're playing a hunter, get greater sprint. If you're playing a tank, greater blink is huge. Combat blink, the cooldown's huge. Look, 45 seconds, 180. That's massive. So you need to be using, like, you would have to use this perfectly for that to be worth it over that. That's a better buy typically. Just a few other things that are always nice to have. Beads. I can't buy it. I can. Okay, Aegis isn't bad if you're, like, constantly getting womboed and your beads aren't up enough. That's another way you can kind of avoid that. Don't forget there are starter items. I personally do like buying this item on a lot of tanks. I don't know if it's necessarily the best idea, but for me, like, it gives me a nice little start because of the amount of gold it costs. Let's see. Here's your Go down here, you can see all your offense. Don't forget that you can hit, and you can see power, attack speed, lifesteal, penetration, crit. Those are your categories. Some champions are better with power, some need attack speed, some just need pen, and some just need crit. I mean, obviously there's going to be a combination of all of them. No one really just needs a single one. There's going to be a couple gods that always break the rules, though. HP per 5 is not necessarily the best stat. I wouldn't recommend that. Again, this isn't meant to be a build guide, so I'll be going through that some other time. But just going through and reminding you guys that, like, you can do this stuff. Like, this is huge. And don't ever forget that you can go all the way down and get actives that are big. Like, you don't have to just go into this recommended tab. There's also all of this. Hopefully the popular item gets updated soon. But again, like, I just AFK'd. My team's doing fine. Kind of the way bots go, though. I didn't spend any money, which is that's stupid. But I think we can just cut the video now. Like, this is just kind of a really quick overview of how this works. Don't forget that the jungle camps do respawn. And you should always try to, like, go take them if they're up. It's huge. Especially when you kill it, your team's going to get the buff, which is nice. Whoever picks it up, at least. And I mean, like, once you're, like, fed like this, you can kind of do anything. So that's a real reason to not... Don't be that guy who just feeds. Like, I know it looks cool being the guy who's up here carrying now, but, like, someone had to do really bad for me to get this big. And you don't want to be that person. Alright. Anyways, guys, this is Kane 1-for-1 with XBLA fans. We're going to be doing a lot of Smite videos. You should definitely check them out. Please do subscribe to our channel. And also, you should check us out at our website, which is xblafans.com. You should also check us out at twitch.tv/xblafans. I stream Smite a lot on there, and I'm more than willing to answer questions anytime you guys have them. We're very responsive on that stream, so, like, there's a few other streamers that stream on there as well. And we do all the games $30 and under that the website covers, so definitely check that out as well.